Hello everyone, great evening. Welcome to Prime Business Live. And coming up in this bulletin, oil marketing firms increase prices of petroleum products at the pumps, with most of them sticking to the new price floor of petrol at 10 cedis, 24 pesos per litre. We are live with the Chamber of Oil Marketers Association. Also in this bulletin, National Communications Authority orders telcos to improve network quality and coverage beyond district capitals with immediate effect. We'll be joined by the Telecoms Chamber for some conversation. Plus, management of Volta Aluminium Company outlines plans to turn around the fortunes of the company amid viability concerns.
I've heard from the president each time about resetting and making sure of agencies such as Baku. I don't think we are being left out. Certainly, when the time comes, the proper injection will be seen by all.
We have details of this and more coming your way all in a moment. Please stay. Thanks so much for your company. I am Pius Kojobaka. And look now at our stories. The National Petroleum Authority has increased the minimum price levels for petroleum products for the second pricing window of February 2026. The new price floor takes effect from today, February 16 to 28, 2026. Under the directive, no oil marketing company is permitted to sell petrol below 10 cedis 24 pesos for the next 2 weeks. Our checks reveal some oil marketing companies have started increasing prices of petroleum products at the pumps in line with the new floor price directive. We have more for you in this report.
The adjustment is in line with industry data that showed that prices should have gone up by up to 4% per litre. However, a careful look at the quotes so far by the major oil marketing companies showed that most of them have gone slightly up when it comes to the price of diesel. Market leader Star Oil is selling a litre of petrol at 10 Ghana cedis 24 pesos. Gold is offering the same price for this product. Star Oil is selling a litre of diesel at 11 Ghana cedis 97 pesos. Now that is slightly higher than the price floor for this product. The second biggest player in the industry, Gold, is selling a litre of diesel at 12 Ghana cedis 53 pesos. More of the major oil marketing companies have told Joy Business that they would move to increase prices later today, whilst others say they will still want to monitor the market first before they adjust their values at the pumps. According to the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, the increase has been influenced by the city's recent depreciation and rising prices of crude and finished petroleum products on the international market.
Let's broaden the conversation further. Let's get onto Zoom and speak with the Chief Executive of the Chamber of Oil Marketers Association, Dr. Rivers Singopong. Thank you so much, sir, for making time to join us here on Business Live. Now, have all your members been informed about the new price floor and what is the expected compliance rate?
Right. Indeed, yes, Pius, all members are aware. All marketing companies and LPG marketing companies are aware of the new floor price as of last week, Thursday. Compliance rates, for sure, we are looking at 100% compliance rate because it's an industry that needs to be respected. And if we are not able to clean our homes, then how well are we able to prepare ourselves towards the exigencies in the market? So as a chamber, and I believe that's the same story of the authority, MPA, we want to believe that we are going to achieve 100% enforcement rate in this policy, even as we look at the review of the penalties associated with members not adhering to this policy.
All right. Again, we know that the drivers of this increase was more of the CD or the rising crude oil prices. Then it looks like we are in for more hikes. Am I right?
Well, you know, we've had this undulating kind of pricing in the country before, whereby a window will come subsidized, or reduced, and an increased price coming up the following window. This is basically based on the Middle East weighing concerns. That's the tension that we saw in the Middle East. We've kind of also seen some turbulence in the eastern part of Europe as far as some bombings are concerned in some refineries. So as far as the flat price are concerned, that's where all this stems from. As far as this will continue, nobody can tell. But CD also kind of depreciated by about 0.7%. That also resulted in the marginal increase of 1.97 for petrol, 2.73 for diesel, and almost 3.5% for LPG. Let me also use this opportunity to say that, you see, the floor price is not necessarily the price at which any OMC or LPG should sell the product. And let me also correct us, I mean, all of us, you and I, that the prices you see established by the market leader and GOIL, that Star and GOIL, are discounted prices. They have actual prices which are way beyond the floor price. Other than that, believe me or not, the market will not be easy for most oil marketing companies going forward.
Dr. Rivison, we also understand some of your members are struggling to load products from Takoradi and Kumasi. How bad is the situation from what you are picking up?
Yeah, I mean, there were technical errors. I've heard different opinions that Boss doesn't have fuel in the storage. That's not the case, and I'm not here speaking for GOIL. Sorry, for Boss. Indeed, there is product, but there are two different platforms that works as far as product loading is concerned. What we call the ICAMS and what we call the ERDMS. As of today, unfortunately, and we have been fighting it, these two interfaces are not connected. They are not speaking to each other. So once there's an error in one of the interfaces, you cannot load products. So that's what is happening. There are issues with ICAMS communicating with the ERDMS. That's why members are not able to load. And this actually started from last week. And this is something that MPA and authority and the government, for that matter, needs to take very, very seriously. And we have been talking about this for years now, and it seems it ends up in the deaf ear. It affects operational, I'll say, supply chain efficiencies, and lo and behold, we'll be here and we're going to see shortages in the middle belt, that is the western region, and the central belt, that's Kumasi and the northern part, only before we see action on it.
All right. Let's leave the conversation here. We shall come to you subsequently for more clarifications on some of these issues within the downstream petroleum sector. Thank you so much for your time. Now, let's move away from the downstream petroleum sector to some other developing story we are learning for you. The National Communications Authority has introduced stricter enforceable performance standards for mobile telecommunications services. The regulator is tightening rules on call quality, internet speed, and messaging delivery across all metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies. The NCA said the revised framework applies nationwide and covers voice, data, and messaging services effective immediately. Now, what does the Telecoms Chamber make of this? Joining us via Zoom is the Chief Executive of the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications, Sylvia Owusu-Ankoma. Thank you so much, Madam, for your time here on Business Live. Your thoughts about the new directive by the NCA on service quality as well as other service offered by the telecom firms in the country?
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to all your viewers and listeners. It's important to say that, first and foremost, telecom operators have been investing heavily in their network service quality, and it's imperative that we do so because that's the service we offer our consumers. We want to ensure that they enjoy, meaningful quality service. At the same time, it's important also to acknowledge that the NCA's new guidelines is based on our license conditions. So this is not coming as a surprise to our members. However, that being said, it's important to also recognize the realities of our industry, right? Ghana is in one of the markets where, you have almost 95% network coverage. When it comes to network coverage, we've almost covered the patch. Where we have the biggest challenge really is in terms of, data, and data is currently sitting around 37%, where we see that there's a lot of improvement to be done. But that not said, the infrastructure is one that, beyond just saying you have network service, we have to ensure that the environment in which we operate in allows and permits those rollouts that allows our members to meet the network quality of service. One of the biggest challenge we face today is with fiber cuts. And you bear with me that, especially even with the big push coming on stream, there are significant concerns with how road constructions are being dug without consent to the right of ways given to mobile network operators. So you have your fiber infrastructure on the ground, and at the same time, a road constructor who is, splicing up or breaking up these fiber infrastructure in ways that it disrupts network quality, and it requires members investing in redundancies of various levels. In 2025, alone, we accumulated over 23 million per kilometer of fiber. Every time you cut a fiber, 1 kilometer takes us over 23 million cedis to repair. And if you have multiples of that, we're running into millions of dollars. Over $90 million was compiled as cost of just fiber repairs from the industry over the last year.
All right.
Now, we welcome NCA bringing these new regulations or license conditions out. We only call for closer collaboration for us to really have an implementation framework that at the end of the day benefits the consumer.
And I want you to talk to me about the call drop rate we are learning by the NCA. Your thought about that, and it appears the National Communications Authority is deeply worried about the quality of service offered by mobile operators. Is that also a concern for you as well?
Network quality is always a concern for every mobile network operator, not just in Ghana but across the world. That's something we need to recognize, right? NCA's call drop rates and its assessment of it. Of course, every improvement in the network which improves the quality for our consumers is essentially what our operators are equally seeking to implement. The concerns are just enumerated in terms of the reality on the ground. Whilst we are developing and pushing, compliance measures on our mobile network operators, we should also be aware of the environment in which we are operating in. Beyond fiber cuts, if I want to improve my network, it means a community needs to grant me access. Just 2 weeks ago, I was in a community where they were rejecting outright the installation of a telecom mast because of the presence or the imposing presence of it. But there are clear guidelines in Ghana which guides the way operators put up these towers. But if you're not having the cooperation of the community, you would run into challenges in deploying. And so those are the realities on the ground for which we seek to have further conversation with the NCA to improve those parameters.
And I appreciate that. Very quickly on this, the NCA is saying that the directive, of course, will take effect immediately as your members, and I don't know whether your members are in the position to meet all of these requirements to avoid any sanctions, are they?
As I indicated, our members all have license conditions, and every network operator provides a rollout plan to the NCA. So we want to be clear that the NCA is going to be taking, making measurements of these network performances on the back of the rollout plans and commitments that have been shared by our members. Every effort from their side is being made to meet our requirements, but where there are clear challenges, we also want the NCA to recognize those challenges, particularly around fiber cuts and ensuring that this country deploys what we call the Dig Once policy. It's a policy that would ensure every new fiber that is being rolled out is protected, just like any other critical infrastructure is being protected in this country. They should ensure that the policy is adopted, that the roads ministry is engaged, just as we've been seeking to do over the years, to respect right of ways. Where fiber be relocated, we should be given the clear, highlights on that so that they can be relocated without cutting and destroying fiber, which just adds operational costs to the implementation of these KPIs. But as I mentioned, there are license conditions. Every member has a defined rollout plan, which has been shared with the regulator, and we do hope that the NCA will provide the platform for us to interact and meet, the benchmarks that rollout plans that have been shared with them in advance.
Sylvia Owusu Ankoma, thank you so much for your time here on Business Live. She is the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Telecoms Chamber. And let's pause for a breather. I'll be right back with more shortly. Hello again, welcome back to Business Live. Ghana's effort to revive the volatile aluminium company known as VALCO after the exit of KZR Aluminium has been daunting, with attempts to make the strategic state asset profitable. In recent weeks, the smelter has come under scrutiny after the Ghana Integrated Aluminium Development Corporation questioned its long-term viability within Ghana's aluminium agenda. But at a debate with workers, VALCO's management outlined steps to making it a cornerstone in Ghana's industrial transformation drive.
Current leadership of the Volta Aluminium Company, VALCO, inherited a plant burdened by idle equipment, underperforming pot lines, and a $240 million legacy power debt. To address these challenges, management introduced a two-pillar strategy, optimizing existing operations and implementing a transformational expansion project. Under the optimization phase, management has revived idle machinery, upgraded critical systems, and built operational redundancies to ensure continuous production. Active pot lines have risen from 114 to 124, with a target of 150 by end of year and full operational capacity of 200 pots projected for 2027. Dr. Robert Sambian is the Chief Executive Officer of Volta Aluminium Company, VALCO.
We also determined that the business model was not right. Selling primary aluminium doesn't allow us to bring in much revenue. And so we immediately accelerated steps to add value before exporting. And so we have successfully installed a value addition production line, that is a rod mill, to produce electrical grade rods which can be drawn into cables for use by ECG and other cable users locally, but also for the international markets.
The board chair of VALCO, Horace Ankra, says amid the company's current challenges, President John Mahama has tasked them with restoring its viability.
So it is not a matter of VALCO being left out, it's a matter of timing. And I strongly believe that from what we've heard from the president each time about resetting and making sure of agencies such as VALCO, I don't think we are being left out. Certainly, when the time comes, the proper injection will be seen by all. So let's look at it this way, that the president is not being selective, but the president is prioritizing what will reset the country.
Deputy Chief Executive Officer, General Services, Abu Hassan Mahama, says the company is not against any external investor.
Nobody from management or the board is against an external investor or any strategic investor. But I want to state that we are against equity investment. For that one, yes. We are, for reasons that are obvious and known to all of us. To be frank, we are in to protect the 800 jobs that are here. That is why we say we are not in for any strategic investor. We want debt financing or prepaid or offtake agreement. With that, we can turn around VALCO.
Workers at VALCO used the DERBA to raise questions on key issues, including operations, the purported sale, financial losses, and investment plans, among other pressing concerns.
Why is it that always when an investor is coming, the investor is expected to hold majority share, 70-30. Can't an investor hold for anything below 49? For government of Ghana to also have the majority share.
Line 3, line 4, line 5 going to come on board, going to come on stream. The only way we can have financial freedom is cash injection. Improve our capacity.
I have never seen any CEO brought in 16 lift trucks before. You see, lift trucks are the center of our operations. He has brought in 2 end loaders.
I would be very grateful if we will also know our debt status now.
Management is pressing ahead with modernization and strategic partnerships to revitalize VALCO and reinforce Ghana's position in the global aluminium markets. Kwame Yankes reports for Joy Business.
A nationwide Valentine blood donation campaign by telecom giant MTN Ghana is being hailed as a major life-saving intervention as health officials warn of recurring blood shortages in the Volta and Oti regions. The exercise, organized with Cal Bank and the Whole Technical Hospital, is targeting hundreds of units of blood to support emergency care. Ivy Setoji reports from Pando.
Instead of flowers and chocolates, this Valentine's season is being marked here with blood donations, a gesture organizers say delivers something far more powerful, a second chance at life.
Looking at Volta region with a population of 1,742,806, the estimated population of that number needs over 180,740 units of blood to sustain the region. So how do we get this quantity of blood to support the health facilities within the region? This can only be done through voluntary blood donation. We want to plead with other organizations in the region and beyond to take blood drive seriously, because this has been one of the most critical products that we need in hospitals. We urge all stakeholders, the general public, to continue to support all the blood centers in the country.
The donation exercise took place at the Pando Senior High School and forms part of a coordinated nationwide campaign running simultaneously more than 47 locations. MTN says it is targeting 250 pints of blood across the Volta and Oti regions alone to help stabilize hospital blood banks.
This is how we show our love to the community that we are, and the hospitals as well. So we are here at Pando Senior High School. We are expecting 150 pints of blood within the school so that we can put it at the blood bank for emergency purposes, so that people who need it, we can save lives. So this year we dab it, give a person a second chance. We are happy doing this, and MTN, in collaboration with Cal Bank, want to support it to make it grand, and this will continue years to come for us to get blood bank. So in all, 250 pints of blood from Volta and Oti.
Health officials on site say corporate-led mobilization is arriving at a critical time as blood banks continue to struggle with seasonal shortages.
A blood bank without blood is what? Bankrupt. So I will encourage all stakeholders to come on board to help make this initiative a success, because there is a challenge we have observed so far. Majority of voluntary blood donation comes from secondary schools. So that means when the secondary schools are not in session, when they are not in school, that means there will not be any blood available. That means the blood will go bankrupt. So usually on festive occasions, what I've seen is that the blood is...
That's it for Business Life. I am Pius Kujobaka.